The Enneagram is a really robust and complex system that can account for the many nuances of our humanity. It's not the point of the Enneagram to discover what number you are and then put it on like a label so that you can explain away why you do what you do. Of course I do that. I'm a 9, or yes, I'm like that. I'm a 4. If we do that, we're really missing the point. It's not to figure out what box we can fit into. It's really to help us see what box we've been in without even knowing it so that we can get out. So I want to give you a little bit of a warning around taking an online assessment or test and just taking the results at face value. So, like I said, it is a complex system, and there are a lot of things that go into determining what your particular core type is. Everyone has a single core type, a single thing that motivates them or moves them through the world. It's comprised of a basic fear and a basic desire. But there's something that you focus your attention on that drives you, and it's unique to the particular number. But then you have other things that influence your movement, including whatever instinct is driving you and however that combines with your particular passion, or the passion or the driver of your number. Now, all of that may sound really complicated, but here's what you need to know. All those things factor into determining your type. So you can take an online assessment or a test that you find. There's free ones online. Some of them are actually, quite good as a starting place. But it's just that. It's a starting place. No test is going to be able to tell you who you are better than you. So take a test, do an assessment, or better yet, do a typing interview with someone who is trained to do a typing interview, an actual human being who can help you to sort of discern. And then you'll have a place to start. The whole point of the Enneagram is to expand your self-awareness and your ability to self-observe, and particularly to observe parts and pieces of yourself that maybe you've never seen before. Those pieces that have been in the shadow or in the blind spots like we talked about before. So it's a place to begin. You might discover that you're a particular type, and it'll begin to open up a world where you can dig around and look and learn new things about yourself that you haven't seen before. But it's much more important or valuable to be in the inquiry of what type you could be than it is to decide what type you are and put it on like a label, right? If we do that too quickly, then it's very likely that we're shortchanging ourselves. And it's just better to be asking the question than to feel like we have found some answer and move on. So I encourage you to get curious. What type are you? And what subtype is flavoring your type? This is a conversation that we'll have, and I'll share more about coming up. But what type might you be? And here's the thing. The Enneagram represents the wholeness of our humanity. So we all have aspects of all the types within us, but we each have a core driver. So where might you recognize the various types within yourself? How do you see them presenting? And then get curious about, but what's the fundamental thing that moves me or drives me? And let yourself inquire and see what you discover before you get too hung up on finding a particular type. All right, coming up next, I will talk about some of the various components that make typing kind of tricky, and why it can be supportive to work with somebody who knows the system really well.